Hey, I'm Mark,
And I'm Craig.
and this is Songwriter's Tales. Craig, today got kind of a cool dude on.
Yeah, buddy.
Gotta say, man, pretty cool guy. I knew he was cool from his social media, but you guys are going to like this one. Tell us about our guest.
Mark, we have Craig Campbell coming on our show today. He's a Nashville star. His first hit was Family Man. He had Fish. He had Keep Them Kisses Coming. And he's a former piano player for Tracy and Luke Bryan. And just an all-around great guy. I mean, he is what you see. And it's an amazing podcast today. So what do you say, Mark?
Let's do it. Hey, it's Mark, and we're back with the very cool Craig Campbell. And Craig Gleason, why don't you give us a little rundown of Craig, or a proper introduction for our guest, and then we'll just get this going.
Very good. Thank you, Mark. This may be the most confusing podcast we've ever done, Craig and Craig, but we'll work through this. Hey, we're glad you're here, my man. Good to see you.
Man, I'm glad to be here as well. It's a great day.
Awesome. So I met you about 15 years ago. That's where I first met you, over at the County Q, as a matter of fact. That was the first time. And
Good old days.
Yeah, and those were the good old days. You're right about that. We might have to talk about that some.
Yeah.
But we've got Craig Campbell today. Craig Campbell is a Nashville artist. And if you've been listening to anything Nashville, you're going to know who Craig Campbell is. We've got all kind of things to talk about today. So let's kick it off. Mark, hit it, man.
Well, Craig, I was reading your bio, and kind of tell us how you started off. I mean, I see that you played keyboard for Luke Bryan and Tracy, but go back as far as you want. But tell us how did it get started? I mean, where did you kind of get the bug, and that eventually sent you to Nashville?
Okay. We'll go back to, I guess, where it all kind of started. I started playing the piano when I was a little boy, and just taught myself how to play. I was intrigued by it, and so just taught myself how to play, and started just messing around, playing piano for my church. I played the piano for my church for years, and I was 15 years old. I signed up for a singing contest called the Jimmy Dean True Value Country Showdown.
I remember those.
And I was 15, and I won. I won that local competition, and that was probably one of the first times where I knew that the stage was calling my name, if you will. And then fast forward, graduated high school. I got a job. I was a correctional officer for a couple of years, and I knew pretty quick that was not the career that I wanted. But still, music was I didn't understand the whole music thing. So I had a conversation with a buddy of mine one time, and he was playing at a local bar where I grew up, and he just got brought up about playing music and paying and making. That was his job, and I'm like, what? He said, no. I said, what do you do to make money? He said, this is it. And so when I realized that you could make money, or at least make a living playing music, that's all it took for me. And so that was it. Honestly, like I put a band together. We started playing all over the United States, just playing, a bunch of kids running around, having a good old time. And I finally moved to Nashville. And even when I got to Nashville, the idea was I just want to be here, and I just want to pay bills with music. And so I introduced myself as a piano player, and it wasn't long. I got hired to play piano for Luke Bryan. Played for him for about a year, and then he didn't want a piano player anymore, because this was before he had a record deal.
Mm-hmm.
And then not long after that, I got hired to play piano for Tracy Bird, and then played for him for 2 or 3 years, and then all the while just singing demos for other songwriters, writing songs myself, meeting everybody I could meet, playing. I was playing on Lower Broadway 4 or 5 nights a week, and eventually got discovered on Lower Broadway, and that was in '08, and then I signed my record deal in '09, and my first song came out at the end of 2010, and here we are.
Yeah, that was Family Man, right? Is that
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So just a kind of a sideline question. When you were traveling with your early bands, you said a bunch of you guys were just traveling around having a good time. What music were you playing then?
It was just top 40. I mean, we were doing
Okay.
mostly country music, and we were doing some original stuff, but top 40. I mean, at the time it was Creed. We do a couple of Creed songs. We did some Nickelback. We did some just bar songs. When you're playing bars and nobody's really paying to see you don't know who's coming, so you just got to create a set list that covers all the bases, and so that's what we did. We played at least 1 or 2 songs for everybody.
That's cool. Were you actually the one singing Creed?
Yeah, I mean, I love Arms Wide Open and Higher. I mean, those were the 2 Creed songs we did.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed. I didn't try to sing like him. I just did them the way I would have sung them.
Sure.
So they were definitely more of a country vibe when we did them.
That's cool though, because I guess singing songs like that, you kind of you condition your voice to be able to sing pretty much anything, but also you kind of do you think those kind of songs maybe bled into your songwriting a little bit? Because I mean, you're a traditional country guy, but I definitely hear some when I listen to your stuff. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. But I hear a little soulful stuff in there every now and then.
Well, I grew up. Now, I will tell you, before all that, I was a huge Southern gospel fan early on, and then I was also a huge Boys to Men fan. So
okay,
I would imagine there's some Boys to Men like
got a little baby face in you then.
Tendencies of like good stacked harmonies and vocal runs and stuff like that, and vocal production.
Sure.
Has always been, I've been a fan of that. But I would say for the most part, the most influence I had was from that, that group of guy singers from about 1988 to about 1994, 95, like the Alan Jackson, Clint Black, Tracy Lawrence, Travis Tritt, Diamond Rio, just that group. That's where I got the most influence.
Yeah, me too as a writer, actually. I mean, that's right in my wheel. When I saw your class of '89 record, where you cut all those classic songs, it's funny. I was telling Craig, I said, man, those were his singing influences. Those were my writing influences. I mean, I love those songs.
Yeah.
I love that whole, so
it honestly seems like back then and it's going to sound like the old guy here, but it's like the songs aren't as good as they used to be. Like the singers were great. The songs, the lyrics were great. The production was great. There was no beats. It was all real. And so I don't know. I'm just maybe just a traditionalist.
No, I agree with you. I think country has definitely evolved.
Hey, this is Craig with Songwriter's Tales. Let's talk about Alaska, the final frontier. That's right, and I'm talking about Otts Kilcher, a good friend of mine that I met at Zach Brown's Camp Southern Ground. Episode number 14, Songwriter's Tales. Come see it. You're not going to want to miss. Back in the 90s, do you know Ed C. by any chance?
I don't know. I have not met him, but I know who he is.
Yeah, Ed's an old friend. I've known Ed for 30 years, back when him and Worley were working together. And, back in the 90s, back when Martina McBride and all of them were coming out and Colin Ray and all. And, it's interesting. James Stroud, same thing. All those guys came from rock and roll backgrounds, and when I first started going out to Nashville, I was thinking, oh, yeah, everybody's just, completely, in that whole, that corner, that country corner. But what we have learned over the years, and I think this is what made that great, because artists like you and even Garth, listening to Billy Joel and things like that, he was a big influence. James Taylor was a big influence on him. They just didn't grow up just cutting their teeth on George Jones and only George Jones, so it branched off, and the music, the songwriting, the content, and the production, like you say, I think was enhanced by that. So it makes sense now.
Yeah.
Mark, hit us up, man.
Well, I was going to ask, so take us through, once you got your deal and you had a string of a lot of successful singles, and kind of take us to where you are now. What musically kind of brought you up to where we are now?
Yeah, I mean, I've been blessed. Dreaming of just, again, going back to the beginning, where it was just to be able to provide for my family and get up and sing, and is the way I do it. It's kind of a crazy concept if you really think about it, but man, blessed, family man, Fish, Out of My Head, Keep Them Kisses Coming, Outskirts of Heaven, all those, just having those songs on the radio and do well enough to allow me to keep going. But 2020 hit. I decided to leave Broken Bow in 2019. So it was all perfect timing for me. Became 100% independent in 2020. And it's been awesome. I got to where I was not loving the process anymore. I was, the record label was picking the songs. They were telling me to shave my beard or grow a beard, or, just the different. And it got, I got to realizing there's like, these guys are making all these decisions that affect my career, and they've never been to my house. They've never met my family. They don't know who I am, but they're picking
Wow.
they're picking songs, and they're it's like, hey, we don't know you, but here's what you should do. Like, and I got frustrated with that. And even though I'm not like mainstream anymore on the radio, I'm back to having fun with it and doing it.
So much to say about
and doing
that.
it because
Yep.
I love it. Making all the decisions. The only person I got to make sure is happy is my wife, and if she gives me the thumbs up, let's go and
roll with it. That's
and
awesome.
I'm all about now. If the music don't get me fired up, either way, whether it's a good song or a great song, or a bad song, if it's a bad song but it still gets me fired up, I'm in. And and if if I put it out and it don't do nothing, it don't do anything, I lay down at night knowing that I'm having fun and I'm doing it because I love it, and that's it.
That is, what? That is it. A lot of people that are listening to us will understand that. There are many that don't understand it. An artist, we all start our careers off because our heart's dragging us toward it, and we just want to do something we love and have a passion for. And the sad truth is, really, the business can be pretty cold. And like you said, I've never heard anybody say that, boy, but you put it perfectly. They've never been to my house. They don't know my family. They didn't know your heart. And they didn't, and if they did know your heart, they probably don't care anyway. I mean, they're just
Well, I
there
think
to
a lot of
get it
these
done.
people are bean counters. They're not
Yeah.
even creative people that are making creative decisions. And it's not just country music. Entertainment industry's done that for years, but it's gotten, it seemed like in Nashville back when you were cutting your teeth, Craig, and when Craig and I were trying to pitch songs, the creative people were in control of the business, and it almost doesn't feel that way anymore. And I may be wrong about that. But
You're not.
what you said, yeah, I mean, it just kind of feels like the accountants were and you kind of confirmed what I was saying. Here, these are the songs we want you to sing. You don't even know.
The beautiful thing is that you've taken the reins back, and that you're doing what a lot of people are doing and saying, the heck with it. We don't, and social media and just the ability to do that has freed everybody up for that. So that is very, very cool. One of the things that you mentioned this, and I don't really want to lead us. I mean, we can, but not intentionally to lead us off into a whole different direction. But one of the things I noticed about you just from seeing your social posts is that you are a family man. That's not something, that's not just some kind of image you're trying to portray, but you've got 2 daughters, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mark and I do as well.
We both have 2 daughters, so we can commiserate together.
Yeah, man. We totally get it. We love it, man. And we've both been married a long time as well. And so I want to thank you for having that going, man. That is
yeah, no kidding.
It is it's a rare thing nowadays. It seems like that a man that's in your position and has been where you are to just have that heart for your family.
Well, yeah, I mean, well, I married my best friend, and we, without getting too deep into the weeds, but we've had our struggles. There was a moment where it came close to we came close to calling it, but we knew we loved each other. We knew that it was that, and our girls, we had 2 great girls, and at the very least, we needed to try to work through that for them. And I'm so glad that we did. My girls make it really, really awesome to be a dad, and I'm blessed, and we are stronger now than we've ever been. And it's just,
Are your daughters musical? Because I noticed it seemed like one of them sang on something that I noticed in your bio. It's one of your daughters. Is it Presley sang on something?
Well, Presley's working on her own thing. She's been bitten. She's been chosen, if you will. And she's very good. She's very good. I'm biased, but at the same time, I recognize talent, and she has it. But she's going down that R&B pop road, and I don't know anything about that. And so me and her are learning that together.
How old is Presley?
She's 17. She'll be 18 next month.
Boy. Well, with technology nowadays, and as Craig was saying, with social media now, she can do it and be uber successful and never have to deal with, the garbage that you had to deal with coming through. Yeah.
And the cool part is you're right, Nashville, because sometimes you do have to utilize some of the elements in there, whether management or, publicity, like you say, and you're right there. So it's great because they don't just do country music.
Right.
For those that are listening, I'm preaching to the choir here. You guys know that, but for the people that are listening, Nashville is not just cowboy music at all. It just isn't. It is everything. In fact, CSAC, like BMI and ASCAP, CSAC, if maybe it might be different now, Craig, you might know this better than me. It seems like they were primarily, weren't they really delving into the Christian side of music, because they really started doing a lot of when Christian music back in the, was it the 80s, I guess, 80s, 90s, it really just kicked up.
I'm not sure what this, I
CSAC.
I love CSAC. I mean, we've been with them. I've been with them from day one, and Presley's with them now. They've always been good to me. But I don't know the dynamic of like what they focus on. I do know they have a smaller market share compared to BMI and ASCAP, but outside of that, I don't know.
All right. Well, there you go. Well, I'm going to look that up then. I'll send you an email.
Hey, this is Craig with Songwriter's Tales. Be sure to check out what Mark and I have put together for you, these Artist Spotlight. We're going to have new ones all the time. These are folks that are on the up, coming up to becoming superstars, and we've got the superstars that are out there even today. We're talking with them and getting the background information.